Greetings to all of you. This is Arivu, teacher of English from Bharati Dasanar Metric Higher Secondary School, Arakonam. This video is again for the students of class 11 and this part is actually the continuation of my previous videos. Unit 4, poem Macavity, the Mystery Cat, that is the title of this poem, and this video is the last part of this poem. Earlier we have completed 3 more in which we have seen the first 8 stanzas, and this is going to be the 9th one. Here 9 and 10 were explained. I hope it is going to be very useful and interesting for you. Right. So far we have seen the character and what sort of criminal activities he has involved in, our mysterious hero, mysterious cat. Actually, in many of the stories, the important character will be described as a protagonist, right, the hero of the story. But here the poet wants to portray him as an antagonist, the villain. The entire story, actually the poem, it is a poem, but it is like a full narration, like a short story. It is described one after another, what kind of person he is and what kind of criminal activities he has involved in and what sort of confusion he created in the departments. So all that was described one after another like a short story it is. So really it is interesting, right? Yeah. I was talking about the antagonist, right. So the entire poetry is a portrayal of his negativity. So that is why I said he is the antagonist of this poem. Okay, fine. So again this is going to be the continuation of the last one. So in the last stanza we have seen that he created problems in the government offices also, and it is again useless to investigate about him. Okay. So again here it starts. Before starting my explanation part, I would like to read this stanza once. Please listen to me. Right? You will be sure to find him resting or a licking of his thumbs or engaged in doing complicated long division sums. Macavity, Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. There never was a cat of such deceitfulness and suavity. Right? The pronunciation is suavity, deceitfulness, right. Okay. So let us take a closer look at the first line. You will be sure to find him resting. So when you walk on the roadside, definitely you can find him taking rest somewhere else. Just imagine he is a master criminal, but he seems to be taking rest in the street corners or by the corridor of your house itself. Like every other ordinary cat, he seemed to be resting somewhere else or licking of his thumbs. Sometimes he licks his thumbs, maybe after tasting some food taken away from kitchen, right. He was seemed taking rest or licking of his thumbs or engaged in doing complicated long division sums. Sometimes he seemed to be thinking very seriously about something else, maybe a serious plan for his next robbery or burglary. So when you look at him at that moment, it seemed like mentally he was involved in a long division sums, thinking too seriously about something else. Macavity, Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. As the poet depicted, there is nobody else like him. He seemed to be resting, but mentally he is very active. That is the point he wanted to convey here. The poet wanted to convey that mentally he is very active all the time. There never was a cat of such deceitfulness. Deceitfulness, the meaning of this word is cunningness. And the meaning of this word, suavity. Let me tell you the meaning of these 2 words first. Deceitfulness, it is cunningness. The Macavity is depicted as an appearance of cunningness, complete cunningness. He is so cunning that he has never ever left any evidence. If he is really an innocent cat, he should have left many evidences in all the crime spots, but he was so cunning that he escapes all the time. And the meaning of this word suavity, it is confidence and sophistication. It shows how confident he is. though he is a master criminal, though he has committed many crimes, he was still confident that nobody can catch him. That confidence is suavity. Sophistication, yeah. Who is going to catch me? That sort of attitude and arrogancy in his nature. So, he was depicted as a complete outlook of deceitfulness and suavity, right. So, again let me start quickly. You will be sure to find him resting. One day you will be find him resting. You may think that he is taking rest, but mentally he is very active, planning very seriously for something, maybe for his next crime. Who knows? As usual, nobody else is like him because he is so unique, right. There was never a cat of such deceitfulness. Like him, like his cunningness, you cannot find another cat with the same cunningness and suavity, right. That is what I explained here. And as usual, the rhyme scheme remains the same, A, B, B here, because these two sounds, sums, they sound similar, same way, macavity, suavity. So, these two words, they sound the same. So, that is why I have given A, B, B, right. So, with this stanza gets over and we shall go to the last one now. He always has an alibi and one or two are spare, and whatever time the deed took the place, macavity was in there. And they say that all the cats whose wicked deeds are widely known. I might mention Mungojery, I might mention Griddlebone, are nothing more than agents for the cat who all the time just controls their operations, the Napoleon of crime. So, this stanza is the last conclusion part of this, right. So, let me explain you line by line now. He always has an alibi. First, note down the meaning of this word alibi. It is a fake evidence created, fake evidence. Even in many of the movies you might have seen, before committing a crime, the cunning natured villain or sometimes even the protagonist, the hero of the story may be creating a fake evidence before committing a crime. He was such a cunning person. He creates fake evidences to prove or to claim that he was available somewhere else exactly during the time of the crime. The police may suspect him, but he has always used a fake evidences to prove that he was not there. So, he always has an alibi and one or two are spare. So, he has his own fake evidences. It may be one or two or more in numbers. So, he always creates fake evidences to prove his cunning nature for us. And whatever time the deed took place, exactly the time, at what time the crime takes place, macavity was not there, as usual the same. He was not there. That is the magic of this macavity. And they say that all the cats whose wicked deeds, all the bad deeds are widely known. You can collect all the bad deeds of all the cats. You might have known about other cats, which is the complete portrayal of the cunningness. But out of all those such cats, the poet tries to say that he is the best of all cunningness. He is the best of all cunning natured cats. I might mention Mungojery, I might mention Griddlebone. These two are the fictional characters. Don't get confused with these names. These two, Mungojery and Griddlebone, these two are fictional characters used in T.S. Eliot's other book named Old Possum's Book. He has used these two fictional characters in which these two characters are involved in small thefts and misdeeds. They are mysterious, at the same time mischievous too. But they involved in only petty issues, petty cases. But he is, our macavity is a master criminal, you know very well, right. So, here the poet tries to compare the other characters with the macavity. So, that is why he used this line, he used these two characters within the brackets. Okay. So, I might mention these two characters here are nothing more than agents for the cat who all the time just controls their operations, the Napoleon of crime. So, whatever the character you may compare, he wants to say that Macavity is the master of all criminals. And he is just like the Napoleon of crime. Do you know who is Napoleon? He was a French king who fought against the Britishers, right? He was leading a big army and he was against the British army, right? Now here too, Macavity is compared with Napoleon. He is like a Napoleon of crime. He is just opposing, he is challenging the British police, and not only that, he is the master criminal controlling all other cats in the city. So that's why he is described as the Napoleon of crime. So till the end of this poetry, he remained very mysterious and he was not caught, right? So he was a successful criminal. So this character is actually not about a cat. Remember, I want to recall this point here also. This character is not a real cat actually, but he wants to talk about, the poet wants to depict another character, fictional character, which I said from his Sherlock Holmes book, right? When he read this Sherlock Holmes book, there was another character of a professor who remained so mysterious. So this entire poetry is the depiction of that character, but not about this real cat. Okay. So with this, we come to a conclusion of this poetry. I hope you have enjoyed all the 4 parts, right? Thank you for watching all this.